Hello once and again to Saviours DnD. Hope you're doing well out there and ready for some more action with our party, the Redwall Saviours. As ever, be grateful if you follow us here at twitch.tv/SavioursDnD if you've not already, and at our Twitter and YouTube, which you'll find linked below the stream. We are also Twitch affiliate, so you can subscribe with your Twitch Prime if you've got Amazon Prime, or indeed with your hard-earned money. And we will read out any new followers and subscribers at the end of the stream. We also have a lovely sponsor, Libris Arcana, and using the code SAVIOURS at checkout will get you 25% discount from the first month of their lovely dice subscription. So they are a great shop, sell dice and other associated goodies, and we are very thankful for their support. And we are giving away a set of their Sang Royale dice when we get to 150 followers here on our Twitch channel. All you have to do is retweet the tweet that is pinned to our Twitter and follow us here at the Twitch chat. And anyone that has done that, when we reach the 150, we shall put into the draw to get the dice. Okay, let us, without further ado, move on to the player introductions. I'm just going to pick on people this week. I'm not going to ask Emeros to put his hand up because it's always Emeros that says he'll go first. So I'm going to say Terror Blades.
No! I don't know the answer, mister.
That's truer than you would possibly know.
For most of my schooling, I play Mara Clearwater, a cleric of Joaquin, human cleric of Joaquin, and yeah, she casts divine magic, and she likes to buy and trade and sell things. And
followed around by
the dwarven champion fighter Garvin, who is who has very high AC and is very gruff and lovable, even if I always seem to get...
He's gruff.
Mara comes with her own bouncer.
Yeah.
Mr. Jabberwocky and Severe.
Yes, I am Jabberwocky, and I'm currently purchasing Libris Arcana dice as we speak.
Oh, but what dice, and why would you purchase such magnificent dice?
Well, I'm playing with Dark Galaxy tonight, so we'll see how lucky they are.
And it's so much value for the price that you pay. It's amazing.
Are you sounding like you're lying? It is good value.
And Severe is a half-elf, half-vampire barbarian of a custom archetype, which I avoid using because it's very dangerous. And yeah, he's from far east, and
he's from back east.
Far east.
He's a Brooklyn boy.
Possible noble family. Who knows?
We don't know.
And he's now here out in Neverwinter.
Okay. And Donbro and Alton, I'm not making you last because you're usually always last, and that's unfair.
That's all right. Hi, I am Donbro, and I play Alton, who is a little a gnome from the Feywild. He is not from the world that he's in at the moment, but he travelled over here by some means. He is a mute, so he casts his spell through and talks and speaks and interacts through a magical white raven, which speaks on his behalf. So anytime you hear him talking, what he's actually doing is probably miming like this, and the bird is talking. So yeah, and that's basically him. Little fiery, ginger, spiky-haired little gnome man who's full of magic and mischief.
And last but no means least, Emeros and Cyric.
Hello, I am Emeros, and I play Cyric, who is a snake, which is pretty cool. It's even cooler that he's also a warlock.
He will kill us
Not
all.
as cool that he is a druid. So, and he's having a great time. Not really. But we're doing fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Indeed. And last week we were continuing our adventures in the Underdark as the party attempt to find a hideout that the Silken Woe, this band of mysterious drow, have in the area. And they came across a small mining expedition. I don't know what we're going to call it. Outpost. It's nothing more than a wee hollowed out cavern and a wee mine shaft going off it. But they have come across a number of these Silken Woe drow, and particular powerful one who seems to be wielding psionic powers, not using traditional magic, but the power of her mind to cast spell-like effects.
That's what we call cheating.
She's a bullshit character.
Yeah, absolutely. She has an aimbot, and I am thoroughly not bothered that everyone knows.
Yeah. You know the server host, and you can do whatever you want.
Oh, just wait till you see her in CS:GO later on. And we are currently mid-combat. Now, there has been a number of things happened. Alton has animated a small army of metal caltrops that are sort of whizzing around the I can't remember, is it the priestess or the big Cyanus?
It's the big
one. The big one. Not big in stature, just big in scariness. And they're sort of crawling all over her like gigantic ants, I suppose. Is that fair? I don't want to steal your description of them.
They fly.
Okay.
So
it's more like giant hornets sort of swarming around her or something.
Yeah, exactly. And they're caltrops. So if you know what caltrops are, they're little spiky things that ninjas would throw down to like get stuck in your foot to slow you down. And they essentially what they are is they animate. So they get some of the spikes are arms, some of the spikes are legs, and they just fly around poking into people. That's essentially what they do. They're Alton's angels right now, and they're doing their good work.
Yeah, thoroughly annoying, and for any DM watching, you know what it's like when people summon things, never mind 10 at a time. Alton's rounds last about 20 minutes. No, I'm only I don't want to make you feel bad at all. I know you don't. It's just a joke.
I cast conjure woodland beings and summon.
Funnily enough, it backfires and you die.
Just like last time.
We join the combat as well, where the priestess of Lolth has Sleer held with a hold person spell. Most of the drow minions have been killed off, and there's only 2 of them that are very badly injured left. And Mara has also just been targeted with a spell that she recognised called Guiding Bolt, and has taken quite a bit of damage from that, and is now targeted for next person that attacks you gets advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So as we finished last time, it was the priestess who had just finished her go. So it is the 2 very badly injured drow people that are left, and they are naturally going to move up and attack Sleer, as they have been told to by the priestess. So they're only weedy, so although they will more than likely hit. But the last time I failed to hit you with advantage with the
that's true.
Spiritual weapon failed to hit you on it with advantage in the last round.
So I don't have rage?
No.
No, because you've been attacked.
Right,
so it doesn't have to hit; it just have to be attacked. So no, your rage is still fine. First one rolled a natural 19 plus 4, 23, so that's a hit. Yeah. And second one rolled a natural 17 plus. So
yeah.
As we discussed last week, because you are paralyzed, anything that hits you in melee is a natural critical hit.
You know, as you do.
You're lucky these aren't the assassins, and they're all not all sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, I know.
So that is 9, 12, 14, 18 points of piercing damage. And obviously you still get to half it with your rage.
Let me do some math.
And that is their go over. They just sort of come out of this mine entrance where they were previously and come over to you. And it's short swords that the rest of you, they can see them stabbing into thoroughly inanimate Salir. So after them, the very last person to go in turn is Garvin. And I believe he is in melee contact with the priestess at the moment.
That would seem to be the where he would from. He attacks. There is his character sheet. He swings, except inside the box.
That sounded like you threw it into the next postcode.
That's a nat 1.
Okay, that definitely does fail. She sees him coming and blocks the blow with her shield.
Oh, and the next one is a crit. A 19.
Okay. Oh, yes, because he's a champion fighter.
Mm-hmm. So he, let's see. It's 8 for the battle axe. And we had rolled 2 dice, right? How the hell have I organized?
Yeah, roll 2
For
dice.
crit, yes, roll 2 dice.
Yeah. So that is a total of 12 damage.
12. Okay.
Yes.
She takes the blow, but she's looking pretty rough, and I'll do a con save for the hold person. Being a 12, it's half or 10 is the DC, so it's just 10 for her at the moment. Let me just open up her character sheet. Well, doesn't matter what her attributes were. So and that one. So, Salir, you feel the effects of hold person come off. Damn, I was hoping to get another round out of that. Any movement or bonus action from Garvin?
No.
Okay. So that means we go to the top of the round, and it is the scary psionist woman who has backed off at the end of her last turn. And she's going to sort of skirt round from the left to the right, keeping distance behind Garvin where he is fighting the priestess. And you see her moving towards where the chest is. She doesn't do anything with it, but she's standing right next to it now. It's quite obvious she's sort of the way she's looking that she's moving towards it. And she, Garvin or Salir? I think Salir, because you're the one that's done all the big damage, I'm afraid.
That BD Salir.
She points at you and fires a thought bolt. So she just sort of taps her forehead and then sort of points at you, and you just see this sort of animation coming out of her forehead.
I wish to slap it out of the air.
You never know. She rolls a 21 to hit.
Barely.
Yeah.
Oof. Barely.
Oof.
So never mind. I doubt the fact that my thoughts are all in pure rage would affect the fact that she's attacking.
21 points of psychic damage.
That's a lot.
What I should do as a bonus.
Why is he taking brain damage? Like, it's not like he's getting slashed or anything. He's just taking this, and the ooze is just brain damage.
The Underdark is a very intellectual place, you understand.
And as a bonus action, she's going to do her equivalent of a healing word. 1 on the thing, but obviously. Okay, so she has you see her wounds knit up a wee bit as she heals herself. And then it passes on to Alton, who's second in the order.
I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'm just kidding.
Right.
/R, 1d20, and then +4 it is for the dexterity. No,
No, +4 to hit. Oh, if they do they have a +8 to hit?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, plus it's +4 to damage, sorry.
Jesus. Should we all get that spell?
/R.
Space.
Space.
1d20 +8. Yeah, we usually roll physical dice, but because Alton has 10 of them.
Have you returned your microphone, Dumbro?
Apologies. I'm back. So
So that's a hit. Second hit. A third hit. Fourth miss. Hit.
Couldn't you just do?
Hit. Fucking Jesus.
Wow.
Couldn't he just replace the one with a 10 instead?
One, two, three, 4.
8
The reason the thing is, if you do 10d20 terror, it's just
Yeah,
it
it's
just
just
looks hellish, and then you get to spend time thinking. It's actually easier just to do that.
Oh, okay.
1, 2,
10
3, 4,
hit.
5,
Oh, it was 8 hits. I counted.
8 out of 10 hit.
8. Yes. So
I give it an 8
That-
out of 10.
is 8d4 plus
Fucking-
24.
Gee.
So then I'd better just do it this way. /R
8d4
plus
24.
for a total of 47 caltrop damage.
Sweet.
As these things just go,
Oh.
they nick.
Yeah.
It's death by a
Yeah.
1,000 cuts.
The-
These things are
from-
nicking by spiking into her. Anytime she moves, another one hits her.
Is anyone a bit of a Stargate nerd? Does anyone remember the replicants, the replicators, the sort of creepy metal
Yeah.
things? That
Yeah.
that's how I.
Yes.
That's how I personally. I mean, obviously, it's Dombo's. But
I'm thinking of the last Matrix movie when he was in the lone mech and he was assaulted by the machines that were just ripping open his face.
So I think this is this is cutting her to pieces. And just out of focus as she's looking at these things, the camera will focus in on Alton behind one of the doors, just smiling at her. Yeah. Okay. So that's them.
Yep.
And
Alton's turn.
no, it's Alton's turn.
and you can see that whilst that and she's bleeding from all these wounds, and I think between the two of them they've hit her like 14 15 times or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's almost like death from 1,000 cuts. Each individual hit is not super damaging, but it's the sheer number of them.
They're annoying, and then she's she's being
Yeah.
netted.
And she is not she is bloodied, and she's taken a lot of damage. But you can tell that she is quite a robust character for the size of her quite waif-like frame.
Yeah.
Any movement or bonus
Bonus.
actions?
Well, no, that I can actually move. Alton has his own action. They are independent of him. Yeah. It's the bard life. Okay, so he will, as she's getting cut, essentially, he will look to her, and a greenish, purplish bolt of lightning will out of his arc between the two of his horns, and he will witch bolt her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a first level, and I make an attack to hit her with it. You get my dice. Which dice is rolling well? 11.
Who's got
plus-
the heat?
It's plus your bad attack, yeah.
Yes. So it'll be, for you, it'll be charisma plus
Yeah.
your proficiency bonus.
So it's 11 plus 9, 20. Dirty
20.
20. Dirty 20.
It
for the-
does indeed hit her.
Okay.
I think you can see that she's sort of reeling and so distracted from all these hits from your caltrops that makes her an easier target.
Yeah, sure. And that will do. Just it's 1d12 essentially. So 11 damage.
Yeah, so I think we'd just like to pause there and say that Alton just did 58 damage in one turn.
It's the bard life, baby. Also, my caltrops rolled super well. So
Yeah, there's a lot of 4s on the damage as well.
yeah.
Super duper. So you've still got movement in a bonus action.
Yeah, but I imagine I'm kind of away
At the
from
moment, I
her.
think if I remember rightly, you were
Yeah.
like 50 or 60 feet back from her, roughly that sort of. Oh no, you didn't. You
No, I
moved. You
moved up,
moved
yeah.
up to cast the.
I'm
caltrops.
within like 25 of her, I believe.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
right.
but I'm sort of behind something or adjacent to something. You know the way Alton does. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he'll just stay where he is anyway. And,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
and end his
Not a
turn.
problem. And it passes to Selir, who is released from the hold person
So next to me are the 2 underlings
and the priestess.
and the priestess.
Oh no, the priestess is a wee bit further back. Sorry, it's her spiritual weapon that's right next to you.
Is a psionic near me?
They're all near you, but it's only the 2 actual, bullshit drow, as I'll call them, that are actually in melee combat with you.
Yeah, I'll kill him. I'll kill the ads.
But all 4 of them are within movement range of you. That's what I want to make sure that you know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm wasting my damage because they're already injured.
Leroy.
I'll kill these 2. I'm just gonna reckless anyway because everyone can hit my AC.
Yeah.
That's
Just
the
go for it,
benefit of
dude.
having a low AC. Is
You're never worried about not getting hit.
I'm never worried about not getting hit. Always getting
What to do is do them one at a time as well, because there's a reasonable chance you'll kill one on a
yes.
single hit.
Does a
15.
20 something hit okay. Maximum damage. So 12 plus a lot of numbers.
I'll be honest with you, their HP so low that I think just your bonuses would
My
kill them.
base-
Even if you managed to roll a 0 on a dice, you'd still have killed it with a hit.
And the second one, yeah, I hit him as well. 4 plus 9, 30
4 plus 9, 13, did you say?
damage.
Oh, damage.
I hit. Yeah, I hit. You said his AC was 15, so I just
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just getting caught up. Yeah, so you managed to kill both of them, and there's now nothing between you and the other 2. Priestess is a little bit to your left, about 10 feet away from you. The psionic woman's a little bit to your right, about 15 to 20 feet away from you, but they're on a sort of... they're both on an angle.
Bloody.
Both of them.
All right. Garvin's got priestess.
Yes.
I will go and harry the psionic with the bumble couch.
Yep.
The bumble drops.
Bombaclat.
And I'll just
Now forever known. I think Alton described them as Alton's angels last week, if I remember rightly.
I'll just exist near her.
Any
One of them
bonus
is Fire
action?
Faucet's wig on.
Nah.
No. Okay. After Selir, it passes to Cyric.
All right. So the one that does not have the bumble traps around her, which
Mhm.
one was that?
That is the priestess that Garvin is currently attacking.
All right, then I'll attempt to wear her down a bit
Mhm.
with. We don't know what we're up against later. I'll just keep using my Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the first one's 11, and the second one's a 24.
Okay, so I think with her, the way I see it is with her sort of dodging and weaving, trying to sort of shoo these things off like they are insects. Your first one just sort of misses her, but the second one, oh no, that's you weren't firing. You were firing again? No.
At the
Which one were
princess.
you attacking? Sorry,
Not the one with the bumble traps.
not the one with bumble drops yet. That's fine. So
Yes.
forget what I just said.
All right, okay,
Sorry.
all right. It's canon. They're bumble traps.
Oh,
Uh, you hit her solidly, and you think that she's on her last legs with that. You'd have probably killed her if you'd hit both of them. But you do still have a cantrip, or a bonus action, I should say, and movement if you wish.
No, I'll think he stands firmly where he is right now, so.
Okay, that's fine. Mara, you're next.
haha! I am going to return fire, and I'm going to use a guiding bolt against the priestess.
Okay.
Actually, no. It sounded like both of them were about to die.
What I said when I was asked is they're both bloodied.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I'm gonna use the guiding bolt on the psionics.
Okay.
Oh, what
Doesn't-
level did you cast it at?
1. I just wanted the ability, but I'm guessing that an 11 does not hit.
No. How many guiding bolts have you missed in the last couple?
It's the last.
All of them?
Oh,
I think we're at 4, if not 5. I think.
I think it's, from what I have here, I think it's 3. I mean, it's on
Anyway,
video, so
Doesn't
my
look like
failure.
Adrian's guiding you.
Any any
Tears.
bonus action or tears?
She
Yeah,
cries.
bonus action cry.
That's a minor
Doesn't
action
count-
I would like to
Doesn't
finish.
count for players. It's a free action for you, Tara.
I would like to weep.
Only for me.
Yeah.
Right. I don't really have any bonus action of value currently because it didn't sound like Salir was that bad currently. They stabbed him when he was down, but he was.
I mean, he's bleeding from the nose, eyes, and ears like he usually.
You know, it's
Oh no! Yeah,
it's Tuesday. It's
he looks like he's about to die. So everything is.
I
normal.
mean, he's considered bloodied, but
Uh,
that's
I
like
can
your
do.
full health pool. So
Yeah, I can do more by just actually healing him without the healing word. So that'll be my turn. Really, nothing I can do with the bonus action.
Okay.
not with that attitude.
Another guiding bolt. Hey.
Bear with me.
Oh, she's gonna do
Is
something
that
fucking weird.
very priestess next?
He's plotting.
Yeah.
He's plotting. He's playing 4D chess over there.
eventually, I think Squid has slowly realized that Salir both has terrible saves and a low AC.
I think he's always known you've had a low AC. We all have, sir.
But I'm also
That's fine.
very bad at saves.
Yeah, that's true. That
Okay.
All I
She
have
is
is
going
health.
to.
All I have is health.
we're about to get Hail Married right now. I can feel it.
She is going to use her very last spell slot. Level 3 hold person and target Garvin and Salir.
Mother.
So
Oh yeah, was
Um,
it that was what I missed.
need you both to make wisdom saving throws. And she is a DC 15.
DC 15 wisdom. Let us bring up the character sheet.
Garvin should be wise.
Yes, wise beyond his years. Does he get a bonus for being wise?
No.
He gets his bonus.
He has a wise long beard,
All right,
surely.
All right.
Hey, a natural 19. Does that mean he crits?
You can't
No.
crit a save. But
I don't suppose anybody has any magical benefits that someone
oh,
can
too
send
far.
a
No,
fellow
no,
barbarian
no,
friend.
no. We're not metagaming after the fact.
Chapter 11.
Okay,
Take your whole
so-
person and you'll like it.
Yes, Salier feels the whole person.
A
take,
familiar
but-
caress.
yes, but Garvin notices the spell and manages to shake it off its effects with no. She
Should
will
have not.
then get her. Who will she move it to? Because it was closest to you, Salier, so it's going to keep going after you. Her weapon of faith. Spiritual weapon,
Reckless as
sorry.
always.
Well, you're paralyzed now anyway, so it's
Right.
that was natural 13 plus 7.
It hits. Yeah.
So it's a dirty 20.
But barely.
So close. So.
And that is 13 bludgeon. Force damage, sorry, it is, isn't it? With a
The brief moment of joy when he said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Blood damage.
And with that, the priestess's turn is over. And we pass to Garvin, standing in front of this drow woman who has just attempted to freeze him in place.
But a swing.
Mhm.
Right.
Excuse me.
That's a 20, so that's a crit.
I mean, she dead, but
Okay.
roll the damage for shits and giggles.
Roll to see how much blood lands on the wall.
12 damage. It's a 6 and a 1 plus 5, so woohoo! Right. So she goes to meet Lolth in the afterlife.
Yep.
Back to the demon pits. And is he able to approach the psionics?
With 25 movement, he's not going to quite, because they're on they're 2 points of a triangle,
Yeah.
so he won't quite get to her with 25 feet of movement, but he can get within 10 feet of her.
Right. Has nothing to. He like in Icewind Dale, he has no ranged weapons.
I mean, we've never talked about this before, but I always feel if you've got 2 weapon attacks, you can't switch between melee and ranged mid.
Yeah, that
action.
seems reasonable. Yeah.
It would be interesting, unless you were like firing a short sword out of a bow.
Yeah. I've always felt that if that was going to be something, it would have to be a specific trait of a class or a
Well,
character or something. But
One thing that you can think of is it only works if you have a one-handed weapon,
Yeah.
because then you can hold the bow in the offhand.
Or just make
you
a
don't need to,
custom
like, drop
bow
it,
with
but,
blades on
yeah.
either side of the tops.
Yeah.
That could
so
be
there's
fucking
ways
dope.
around it. But at this moment in time, because we've never come up against that, I would say unless you have a good thing, like I drop my weapon on the floor and throw a javelin or whatever. But anyway.
Gosh.
Who needs weapons anyway?
Yeah. He charges
can-
in that direction.
He can try and throw his battle axe at her, but
No. We have seen.
That's my
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick look for goblins.
Having introduced the Urgrosh to fighting.
Whereas the treasure goblin will run out of crap.
Or just for people at home, we had a big battle against Warlock before the stream started, and Salier saw it fit to throw his favorite battle axe at this
great axe.
a great axe at this
Yeah.
goblin. It in turn fell maybe 10 feet short. The goblin picked up the axe and ran away.
I hit him with it. It
Okay.
just didn't kill him.
Yeah, he did. He hit him with it. It just didn't kill it.
Just so everyone
Yeah.
was wondering if anyone was wondering what we're laughing at it. That's a throwback.
Action dash.
Yeah.
They go for-
Yeah.
and then hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he threw it into like a pit or something.
Right. Who's next?
Anyway,
Can't remember.
let's not go too far backwards in time. It is Mrs. Psionic Lady next.
Does she control the bulls in the square?
No. What is she going to do?
I'm no longer paralyzed and in her face.
Yes, correct. That's sorry. Yeah, she just should have said that. I had noted in my head. I just hadn't said it out loud. Which does cause, you can see that going across her face. As it does cause her a great deal of annoyance that you have to be dealt with. But she is going to. I think she's just going to look at you all and just go, well, I certainly can see why you are causing us such difficulty in Neverwinter. I think my mistress has severely underestimated your powers. But I shall see you again, and I shall make sure that she does not underestimate you in the future. And you see her, well, cast a spell.
Spell magic.
Oh,
Nothing happens. It's not a
that's-
magical
yeah.
effect.
I can't do it.
Also,
Anyway.
that's not a.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's not a reaction. I just want to do that.
Fair enough. But I think what to describe it a bit more, what you see her do is she reaches down into the chest, picks out a small pouch, pulls out a purple crystal, sort of about that sort of size, long and slim, and she crushes it in her hand, and it's the dust of that she sort of inhales.
Can I inhale some?
No, you're not close enough.
mine dust.
Right.
And no, I know you are, but it's just a small thing. It's like saying,
I'm
What
real
can I
good
do?
at snorting stuff.
right, I don't think you want to be saying that on stream. And that you see that gives her some sort of vigor, and then she blinks out of existence, and it's just like her body sort of twists and disappears into a small point, and then
That's
disappears.
how like I imagine some spells, but yeah, it's like a singularity.
Yes,
Twists
absolutely. She
into
sort
a
of
singular.
spins and sort of twists away into nothing. And you are all left in the remains of the battle. Some of you bloodied and alone, having.
Yeah, you will
beaten
definitely
your
hear
foes.
the raven will just be up in the corner of the room, just absolutely swearing up a storm. It's in Sylvan, but I mean, you know when someone's swearing in another language, it's obvious. It's all about the tone. And Alton is stamping his feet. As he surveys the battlefield, or whatever battlefield, but the battle residue.
Mhm.
What is there? Anybody else here? Is this all of them? Have we left any of them alive?
You have not left any of them alive, but although you hear no noise at the moment, the chanting stroke poem that you heard that drew you to here, that had been coming out of the tunnel, the mine tunnel that curves away from this chamber that you're in at the moment. And that's where 4 of the extra drow came from that weren't present at the beginning of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think Salir is going to swing where the lady was in case it's like invisibility or something, or just he's gonna just get some extra rage out just in the general vicinity. Just in
He's
hopes
throwing a
that
tantrum.
he's got a couple seconds left of rage.
Yeah, that's fine. Roll me an attack. Let's see what happens.
I crit.
Damn.
So what does it like when you critical strike thin air and spin round and round and round and fall on your ass? How does Salir deal with that?
I think I'm trying to think because it was reckless. So I I think he just like gripped the base of the axe, like very bottom of the handle, and just did a full downward swing just into the ground where she was standing.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, you
into the
rained
stone.
up stone and things. Absolutely, it's kind of loose here. It's sort of impacted sort of gravel and stuff, which is obviously spoil from the mine and things like that. And it's been pressed down over time, so you sort of get sprayed with gravel and shards of rock, but not to any detriment to yourself.
Yeah, he just sit there, just breathing hard, just like, damn it. I hate it when they do that.
Bumbletrop's return.
Dun, 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 dun.
And they just float their way back into his top pocket.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. We let them
Well,
go.
Well,
What's in the chest left?
yeah, I was just gonna ask. Did somebody look at the chest, see if there's any traps?
Oh, it's open.
Locks.
She opened it right in front of. Is there
Oh, I
anything
thought she
left
was
inside
just-
it? No, she grabbed the
Yeah.
purple gem from the chest.
Oh,
But is there
crap.
anything else inside there?
I missed that.
Make me an investigation check.
I'll help. Because Mara's also gonna stick her nose in there. So the trap will hit us both.
15.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm oddly proficient in this.
What you do see is that although it is at the moment disabled, it does have a very nasty trap on it. She obviously hadn't set it at the point that you guys stumbled into camp. Very nasty looking poison spike, which you think would have been pretty nasty if it had been set off, but you see that. And it had quite a significant lock on it as well. Roll me 1d10. 2. You see that when she has grabbed the pouch, 2 of these crystals has spilled out into the bottom of the chest. That's all that's there. But it's obvious it's 2 of the crystals which she was previously seen to have in her hand.
Celia will pull them out and just stare at them, having no idea what they do. They're magic
Alton
stuff.
overheard them talking about the crystals, so when he pulls them out and he's looking at them, can Alton go up and just have a quick survey of them and maybe bring Garvin with him?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you want me to do.
I think Circle will
I'll
join in.
hand one to Alton, hand one to Mara, see if they both check them out.
Sure.
What are we rolling?
What are you rolling indeed?
Survival, nature, arcana.
I think this would definitely be nature.
Yep.
I think, Garvin, you were going to have to roll with disadvantage, and Garvin will get a straight roll based on stone cunning.
I'm rolling at disadvantage. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
18 for Garvin.
Okay.
Damn,
Okay.
they're rolling good tonight.
So you pick them up, Alton, have a look at them, and sort of, I think your sort of opinion is it's a crystal.
I
It's probably a
think
crystal.
I probably, with like an 8, it's probably enough to know that these are the crystals they're talking about and not much else other than that.
And what these look like, if you can imagine like an amethyst crystal. I don't know if you've seen that sort of thing.
I
So
play games.
it's it's quite translucent, roughly that sort of rhomboid sort of shape. That's about as much as you know. And you pass it on to Garvin, and he goes, "Oh, well, they've obviously tooled it in some way. And he sort of shows it up to you as he's sort of gesturing to it, because it's the two of you that's there. And you can see the tool marks on it. They've shaped it and things from a rougher crystal that's come out of the ground. So there's obviously a reason that they have made it that shape. But
these are important. They were speaking of them as I was checking them out earlier. It appears that they have something to do with... That's what they were bringing back.
The lady crushed one when she disappeared.
Really?
Yes.
What shape are they? Because you mentioned the shape.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Roll me.
So what's your backup character?
No. There's definitely nothing like that.
This is what Alton would absolutely do.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, you become Drow.
Are the two crystals and the one the lady had the exact same shape?
16.
A 16. Okay. Now, if you would roll me a D100.
Okay.
Are they...
All right. D100. 59.
Okay.
Suspense. Libris Arcana, everybody.
So,
Get your amethysts for 25% less.
Yeah.
Use code Saviours at checkout.
I just did it.
Yes.
Look at this happy customer.
You all see Alton
I think I've lost weight. Sorry.
crush the crystal, and it reacts differently than what you would expect. Because if you expect that you had a crystal, you would reckon actually, unless you put a lot of power, it wouldn't break. You know, they're robust things that it could be crushed in someone's hand, and even if it did break, it would break into 3 or 4 shards or whatever. Absolutely, and it's almost like it explodes into powder, and it is like super fine. And although you haven't, because Salir didn't tell you that you've not like inhaled it in, naturally in your breathing, because it's quite close to you, some of it goes in. But you've not taken a full dose. However, you feel a feeling that you've never had before. It's almost like someone is massaging the inside of your skull. You can feel... I'm trying to describe this. The way that you bunch your bicep, you can almost feel like you're flexing your brain. That you are just aware of certain amount of
Wait,
power
is this
there.
limitless? Am I Bradley Cooper?
No.
Yes. No.
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay.
And for a second, you're just on the verge of you almost feel like you could cast some sort of spell, and then something sort of sparks, and there's a little bit of a sort of cross spark, and you take 8 psychic damage. But it's enough that you think from what... Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let you roleplay. I was going to give you more information than you may. You might still get it, but I'm not just going to offer it up on a plate.
I almost had it.
Is there any powder left in his hand?
Yeah, there'll be some, or someone like on his sort of jacket front, or a little bit on the floor. Salir starts licking Alton.
Yeah. I thought he was just going to lift Alton up by the hand and basically just stick his hand inside his nose.
I think I need more of this.
I think we should figure out what it is before you start sniffing it.
It's brain juice.
That Well,
I
we
felt-
just got
I felt
we were
myself
attacked
getting
by
smarter.
monsters earlier.
I felt myself, everything was clearer. I could almost cast Greater Fireball.
That's very bad.
Mara, can I see that?
There's only been stories about such a spell.
I don't know. I mean, Garvin, do you feel like you're done with the?
Oh, you have
The
one too,
crystal.
Mara.
No, I think Garvin had it in his hand. It was showing.
Oh,
No, that was the one that Alton
Oh.
took and crushed.
yeah, there were 2 crystals.
Yeah, there was 2.
What shape is the crystal?
Ruboid.
Like,
Yeah.
oh boy. Okay. I mean, sure.
About how long? About
Mara hands the crystal over to Sirik.
It's like 2.5, 3 inches thin.
It's just never seen anything like this. So this is what I'm for here.
Yeah.
And I think at that, Garvin sort of pipes up again and says, I've seen a lot of ores and metals and crystals dug out of the ground, and that's something I've never seen before.
Huh.
Alton is now smelling it, not sniffing it.
Do you inhale the
Wait,
bath
wait,
salt?
huh?
I don't know, I'm smelling. What's it smell of? Is there a smell of it?
I had not thought that anyone would smell it, so I have no idea.
I don't think rocks smell very
I'm
good.
These aren't
going to
rocks.
say
No, they're
Gems don't
powder.
smell very
smells-
much either.
Smells like the 60s.
It
Static
smells
salt.
strongly of salt, yeah, mineral salt. So it's that sort of chlorine ionic sort of smell
Ugh.
that it's fairly pleasant to begin with, or you can decide if Alton wouldn't like it, but to me it would be fairly pleasant to begin with, and then just at the end it just slightly nips the back of your throat, not horribly, but there is just this tiny wee nip at the
I
back
think
of it.
Alton doesn't like the taste of it, but Alton thinks he was on the verge of a breakthrough. But Alton is very, very, very interested in this powder, which will be evident to anyone who's looking at Alton as he's carefully looking at the palm of his hand, which has like a mound of it.
I'm looting the bodies.
Alton,
Yes.
You're dumb.
better leave that alone before we know what it is.
Cyrix takes the remaining crystal and puts it into his pocket.
Alton
Mhm.
takes the remaining powder and he will open up his pocket watch, which usually has his tobacco, and he'll take the tobacco out and put it in one of his other pockets, and he'll stuff the powder in there and he'll close it over. Something to it.
Yeah, but who knows? It might be dangerous, so it's better to be careful for now.
If you
Better to be
roll-
careful. Don't pull a card, okay, Mara?
Roll me,
Buzzkill.
a D12, Alton.
Sure.
At first, I thought he was going to mix it with his tobacco to smoke it.
That's a 6.
6. So you've got 6 grams of this powder.
We still didn't die in bad.
Just deciding how much you snorted or breathed, how much is just lost on the ground and stuff like that. So
Okay. Alton will also be rubbing his head like he's got a sore head.
Hmm.
And I think if anyone looks carefully at Alton, there's just ever so slight bleeding nose, just a tiny wee thin trickle of blood coming out of one of his nostrils.
Do these things looks like those soul crystals from Skyrim? Or Elder Scrolls?
Exactly.
Oh my god!
That's what I've been imagining.
Soldier.
That's the same shape and color, basically.
Alton
Yeah,
just
what's that?
inhaled a soul.
A bit longer,
That's
less
awesome.
diamond, more. So
Mm.
it's got like a.
It's like a petty soul gem.
Mm.
I think Cyrix would position himself into the tunnel where the other.
Do one
Drows
of you
came
want
from.
to check out? Do one of you want to check out what those people singing were doing? While I'm going to figure out if these guys had any orders, letters, something.
Sure.
Ah.
Alton,
Yes.
you're bleeding out of your nose.
And what?
You're bleeding out of your nose.
Oh, that's probably something else. Right. What are we doing?
So let's let Sleer loot his bodies first and foremost. And as ever, they are not hugely full of gear.
I think maybe the priestess might be. If anything, she'd probably have the most.
Oh, that's a good idea. Sleer, could you pick up some of her regalia that I might use if we meet more drow? Then
So,
again, subterfuge
the
is probably not.
The priestess is wearing a breastplate and shield. And she had one of these evil-looking lashes that you've seen the priestesses have before. That I think someone actually referred to as the Lash of Lolth. It's basically a whip, but it has really evil sort of obsidian razor blades sort of stitched into the end of it, so it does slashing damage.
Is it one or is it a tail? Does it have a tail? There are a few.
No, it's a single. It's a single whip, like a bull whip, basically.
Like a rich whip.
Yeah.
Looking at it, it's leather of some sort, but it's pretty obvious it ain't come from no cow.
Yeah.
I think that's what Gavin said. This ain't come from no cow, tell you that much. As he puts his sunglasses on and
Yeah.
Alton in the back.
Yeah.
Jesus, this session has gone weird already.
Yeah.
Quicker than I was expecting.
Fantastic.
Do the sharp pierce the obsidian bits on it cause it to do more damage? Because the normal whip's just 1d4. Does it do like 1d6?
Only 1d4. Fuck.
You would normal one. You would have to
Use it.
No, in this it's not a magic. I'll not be a dick about it. It's a 1d6.
Okay.
Single one, and it's slashing damage.
Okay, so Lear takes it.
Yeah. Remember, kids, where there's a whip, there's a way.
I know.
So Lear is starting to look like Buckaroo with just.
Does this priestess have any rings on her?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Sorry, does this priestess have any rings on her?
Yeah, still.
She has several rings on her, none of which match the ones that you have taken before from other creatures.
Alton's not actually looking at Cillier. I was just.
Yeah, no, I understand. 2 silver and 2 gold rings. She has a number of coin on her that turn out to about 20 gold. She has the usual silken wool cloak with the insidey bit to sort of show that they're part of one of the club. And that's about it. And the same with the basic bitch drows. They've got their arms and their armor. They don't even have coin or anything on them. Looking around the camp and the tent, so there's some tents, but most of the other things.
Are the shield or breastplate emblazoned with Lolth?
The breastplate
motifs?
isn't, but the shield has some forms of that you would think probably are. They're spider sort of emblems and things like that. All of you have come across Lolth enough to know that she is known as the Spider Queen.
Alton just randomly grabs Mara's hand and pulls her back out the corridor that they came in.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll just point to the offcuts, which were explained of like precious metals. You mentioned some platinum,
absolutely.
some gold.
Yeah.
He
Just
just
piles
points,
and piles of ore that just seems to be discarded to the left and right of
he
this
just
chamber.
points at it to Mara, essentially.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Alton. And she will
Shrugs and walks back in.
She will begin putting it into the bag of holding, I guess. Depending on how much it is. Is it like
No. This is unrefined ore. There's tons of it. This is stuff. There was so much of it. These mounds were how you managed to get so close to them because they were blocked sight-wise. So that there's tons and tons. It's also it's unrefined ore. You know, it's not like there's piles and piles of gold lying there.
No.
You know, it all needs to be smelted and stuff like that. And it's, even as an untrained eye, it's different things. It's not all just the same type of ore.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, one thing going back to Celira is when you're looking around the campsite, there's basic campsite stuff. So there's tents, there's some rations, bits and bobs like that.
One final thing before we go to what everyone else is doing. Do I find a wine?
I think you probably do find a wine glass. I would say
I put it in my hip holster.
That one that escaped definitely would be a wine drinker. I think you also find a half bottle of quite nice red wine.
Ooh.
I pour myself a glass.
We made it, boys. Campaign over.
We made it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Happy ending.
I did.
Well, you can't be over till he finds a matching unbreakable sheath for the bottle as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Of course.
Yeah, campaign unover.
We'll just
We
put
need to
more
keep on
stuff
going.
on Celire.
Yeah, that was more like a quick save moment.
Yeah.
Seeing as we've fought 3 different priestesses, do they seem to have some sort of uniform? Anything like common traits wearing among them?
Yeah, the priestesses that you're seeing are much more still in
Training. Lower
classical sort of drow priestess of Lolth type attire. They are much less the Silken Woe. Most of their gear is very bland. It's black, it's stealthy, it's unadorned, other than, you know, hidden sigils and things like that on their person. The priestesses that you have been fighting are still quite garish in the regalia of, you know, whether it be pauldrons in some of them, or big clasps of spider holding the cloak. In this case, it's the shield that's got emblems of Lolth on it. So
Okay.
they are
just in,
definitely
like,
all a bit
long-
more showy.
Long robes, is that essentially their own?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, she was wearing breastplate armor, but she had sort of robes over the top of them.
Okay.
Excuse me. But at this moment in time, you all sort of hear some shuffling and sort of quickly turn to action to the mine as some rather disheveled looking people start coming out, and you see that they're all manacled together. There is quite a portly gnome with bright yellow hair, and
Alton will pay very close attention to this one.
a human man and a human woman, and also a human child that looks to maybe be in their mid-teens, and they are all very dirty, very bedraggled looking, and obviously all dog tired.
They come up
And they all sort of stop in a bit of fright when they see you. Not manacled, sorry, chained at the ankle together, I should say.
So
So their
they're-
arms and free.
Okay, so they're manacled coming up. Well, or sorry, chained coming up.
Yeah.
Can we? Do they just come up themselves, or are they being led?
Yeah, they're just coming out of the tunnel, and they're a bit startled when they see you.
Alton beckons them towards them.
And I think the gnome is the one at front, and he sort of takes lead and goes, "Wow, it's good to see a friendly gnome fight."
Do we all see them?
Yeah, you all see them,
Okay.
and they make a persuasion check.
23.
Okay.
Dang.
He starts to shuffle towards you and asks, so brings the others with him.
Alton will just
Yeah, basically.
take out a pot of jam, just hand it to him, and Alton will walk towards where they just came from.
he sort of takes the jam and he's got a very puzzled look in his face, and he sort of looks at you. It's not often that you sit and like look eye to eye with people. You're usually sort of staring at people's junk.
And I've not seen a gnome since I got here, so
Yeah.
Mm.
This is very. Does
Alton
any
puts
of
up
the-
his finger, and Quill will come down, and he will send Quill towards where they came from, essentially, just to see. You know, it's not often that prisoners don't have a guard, essentially. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. The one thing that you may be forgetting as a player last time is that's where the other 4 drow that entered the fight came from. But yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
fine.
I don't know that that's
So
all
Quill-
of them.
Absolutely. So Quill flies up there, and what he sees is another rectangular chamber, similar to the one you're in, but much smaller. Again, with piles of ore on the left and the right, small mine cart, and then a sort of a track, small sort of train track type thing, but just very narrow gauge for this ore cart, just going into a long dark tunnel that has obviously been hewn into the rock, descending downwards.
Quill will come back.
Mhm.
Sorry for the. Well, I believe we've killed your guards.
Well, a talking bird, right? But thank you. We have all been imprisoned here for weeks upon weeks. Does anyone have any food? We've not been well kept for.
Oh,
Yeah,
what I
wait.
just gave you is called jam.
Thank you. I am well aware of what jam is, but we need a nourishing meal.
Mara will hand them all 2 beads.
What's nourishing?
Remind me what the... Oh, yes. Sorry.
It's good to remember.
And they just look at them and going... And sort of slightly confused with the bead.
just eat them. Trust me.
Remind everyone of the effect of them.
Beads of nourishment and beads of refreshment. So it's basically a day's worth of food.
Food and water.
Yeah. And how many were they? Just so I can
8.
keep the.
There were
Eight.
3.
There's 4. There's
four.
a
We're all around.
Yeah.
2
8 then.
human, 2 adult humans, a man and a woman, and a teenage human.
Yeah. Because if there was 8, then people would be without.
Yeah, no, there are 4 total.
Yes.
So, where did you all come from then?
Well, we didn't. I was picked up on the outskirts of Luskan. I was going there. I'm a trader by trade, and I was traveling alone, which was very stupid of me in retrospect, but it is what it is. I couldn't afford a guard, or there was no one else willing to go. And I turned in my tent in the night and didn't wake up until I woke up here. I suspect they must have drugged me or done some sort of magic.
Well, you're not in Luskan no more.
Well,
You're in the tunnel.
You are close to Neverwinter.
well, at least
Back that
that is a safer city to be near. I don't think I should be going towards Luskan anymore, but they've had us digging in the tunnels, and they've obviously gone through dozens upon dozens of slaves. There's many that have died since I've been in the weeks I've been here.
Is
And I
Alton
don't
taller or
think-
shorter than this gentleman?
He wants to set the pecking order.
Let me get. I've not actually decided his height. Let's do that.
Oh.
live.
Yeah. Live rolling.
Alton's
I'm going-
3'7", just for.
Are you going to force to stand back to back and do the?
I imagine while he's
just-
talking like Cyric and Mara, Alton just like inches behind him. And he's like,
Yeah.
Halfling, human, dragonborn gnome.
Well,
I heard Dragonborn gnome.
Yeah, that's what I heard as that.
Yeah.
Size. Between 3 and 4 feet tall. He is going to be 3'3".
Ooh. Ooh.
Bill
Wait.
will land on Mara's
Yeah.
shoulder, sort of quietly in her ear. See that guy? He's so short.
Mara will smile to herself and quietly pets Quill. Size isn't
Alton will be
everything.
like up on his tippy toes at this point.
Yeah.
While they're looking a bit more refreshed from eating those beads.
Yes, absolutely. You can see that they all get a great deal of refreshment from them.
So then he pulls out this purplish crystal from his pocket.
And he immediately points at it and goes, "That is the reason for our torment here. That is what they have had us mining for. I mean, as you can see, there's silver ore and gold ore and rubies in amongst this. They were not interested. It was only these strange crystals that we had. There are many, many of them that they've already taken away to their stronghold."
Did they ever mention what these were?
Only that bitch with the mind fuckery powers, it enhanced that in some way.
Alton will definitely look at him and just give him a...
Yes, I don't know what's wrong with just good, honest magic.
Did you? So, for how long have you been fighting these, and are there still any left, or?
I don't know how many may be left, but we've been here for weeks. And as I say, there was people here before that have died of the conditions. I think they've been mining here for months, if not years. I mean, and he says, go and look for yourself. The tunnel that has been dug out is not been done by the 4 of us in a fortnight.
Alton will make eye contact as Quill will sort of land down on his shoulder again. You mentioned a stronghold.
I don't know where it is. They've not got us there. Somewhere near Luskan, though. That's where all the leadership seems to be. There's another one nearby to here, but I don't think that's where the real power is. That's just a stopping off point. But we've never seen anything other than the inside of this room and the mine shaft.
Weird question. Did you ever see them sniffing this?
I never saw them do anything other than hide it away in their lock boxes.
Lockboxes. Are there more of them?
Well, that's what they took it away. You know, once they had a box full, it was taken to their stronghold. I think at this point, up the rather tearful human woman goes, "However, did you find us? Was it my wee daughter? Did she get word to the city?"
Daughter?
Yes, my daughter. We managed to let her escape so she could get back to Neverwinter.
Alton will look to Mara as Alton's pupils grow huge.
Yeah. Can we? Because I remember we were told in between what it was. Because we figure out the creature's ability.
I think Salir and Garvin had a modicum of it because they had experienced it, but no, not. I think someone did roll, but they didn't roll very well, so you didn't really know what that was, other than a subterranean ooze.
Yeah.
Your daughter, what did she look like?
Oh, she was sort of a small girl. She's 7 years old, but
Long?
I take it you've not seen her then.
No, I'm sorry.
Wait.
No.
These drow elves, they have been causing trouble in Neverwinter. They burned down a temple. Typical.
Yes.
That's terrible, but
So that's why we're here.
Yeah. I
I suppose
How
some
old was your-
horrible monster must have killed my daughter.
How old was your daughter?
She's 7.
And she left for Neverwinter on her own.
Well, we thought that we saw so many people die here. It was an inevitable death, so
She
we
had a better
distracted
chance.
the guards. I know
Oh.
it's dangerous, but it was definite death against possible death.
Alton is going to. Look
She just
to-
sort of collapses on the ground and
Alton's-
starts crying.
Yeah, Alton's going to still be stood up as she's kneeling and still taller than him. But he's going to take her hands, and he's going to deceive her. And he's going to look into her eyes, and he's going to say, "She had a better chance than any of you. There's a great chance that she made it out there." And he's going to try and deceive.
Mara will try and console the woman.
Well, she rolled a 2 on her insight check, so you can see she's still weeping.
29.
She's still frightened, but you see that she does take a little bit of comfort in your words. And she calms down. She's probably on the edge of passing into like hysteria, but you've managed to bring her back to the edge.
Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words. That's all she says. And she her and the man and the other child just sort of, if they start trying to hug, and then going, could someone please get these manacles off our legs? Shackles.
Gavin.
I mean,
Yeah, Garvin is our lockpicker.
yeah.
He's our smith.
Well, yeah, that's
I
the
wish
two
I-
options: is smashing them or trying to pick the locks.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Alton could start by taking some of his dagger to a few of them, trying to force them, I guess.
well, I guess, let's see now. I guess I could cast, shit. There it is.
You cast shit.
Mara just shits on the
You,
floor.
yeah, I was about to say, you don't have to cast that. You just have to hit.
She's
Casting time 10 minutes.
She's gone into private mode.
she starts to fling it through the sky.
It's a quicker casting time though, Terror, when you don't have a good newspaper to read.
Yeah, true.
Uh,
For a good book. I was thinking, could I just cast Fabricate to just make it like a board instead, or something, just to loosen it? Yeah, fuck it. Garvin, I guess, will. No, it's just to not be bashing about shit.
Are there
in the
any
dark.
keys on any of these drow?
That's also an idea.
I don't know. You go look.
Yeah.
I looted the drow. Any of them have
what
keys?
did you roll in the investigation check again?
You never had me roll one.
All right, I didn't. Right, roll an investigation check.
You never had me roll one.
No, that's
Didn't you
fine.
roll
It's
16?
A lot of other basic stuff.
14.
Yeah. Let's say you do amongst the tent, or the site of the tent, you find keys. And
Yeah,
Zarford-
I'll have passed them in for everybody as they went in. I didn't
all-
go into the room with.
Yeah, and they all unlock themselves, and at the moment, the two humans and their other child, they just sort of go and sort of sit down around the fire that's still going, and just consoling themselves. And the gnome sort of turns back to you and goes, "So, if her daughter didn't get word to the city, what brought you down here?"
That's like I was saying. They've been causing trouble up in Neverwinter. They caused the Temple of Joaquin to burn down, and it's been really
They did.
it's been really bad. We were ourselves ambushed by them. They're not good. No, they're bad. They're bad.
They are bad.
Well, they caused a lot of trouble for us, and we ended up in jail. As as a cause of that. And we ourselves have been tasked to root them out.
You remember how you got down here?
No. As I said, I went to camp and went to sleep on the road to Luskin and woke up here. They obviously drugged me or knocked me out, or, as I say, used some of these baleful mind powers to keep me asleep. But
my name's Alton, by the way, and Alton will put out his hand as the bird finishes talking.
Well, introductions are indeed very important. Thank you for bringing me back to my senses. Shakes your hand and goes, "My name is Harlan Twinefoot."
I like.
And looks at his foot.
No.
It's just a foot. He's barefoot, ragged clothes. He's basically just got a pair of sort of cut off trousers and a shirt on.
Okay, Harlan.
Harlan. Sorry, I'm stumbling my words.
Harlan. Okay. How long have you been here?
Well, with all the work they've been getting us to do in the mine and stuff, it's difficult to track the passage of time with no sun, but several weeks, maybe 3 or 4 months.
Oh.
It was high summer when I was on the road to Luskin.
What season is it now?
It's sort of late autumn, getting into the beginnings of winter.
I remember you saying it was getting colder.
Yeah.
And when you left Derg Balakan, it was mid autumn, and now it's a few weeks later, so it's like starting to get a bit wintry.
Any maps? Have I found any maps?
No maps.
And what about the youngling over there? Who are you?
Oh, that's another child of the other two. That's Louisa and Robert. They're just peasants that I think were stolen from the streets of Neverwinter. Wrong place at the wrong time. They bumped into one of these Drow patrols. They just stole them away. And that's where all these other people that are buried down here. Homeless people, paupers, peasants, they prey on people that nobody cares about when they go missing.
Yeah.
Plenty of orphans.
Yeah.
The humans. They can't see down here, can they?
No. That's why it's easier to keep them. They targeted humans and other species that don't have dark vision.
Oh,
We are going to rid the world of these things.
That's
a bit of this group, maybe.
we shall endeavor to destroy this faction.
Not of the entire race of people.
But they are bad.
Typically.
But there are many other things that are also bad, Alton, and we need to evaluate what we need to fight. Currently, these Silk and Woe are best for us to fight.
Okay.
Does anybody have any water or something so they might be able to
Just-
clean themselves? Or
Alton
Didn't you
does
find-
always have water with him. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
And amongst the things, like I said, when Selir was doing his thing, there is a little water barrel and rations and things as part of the encampment here. So even if you don't have any yourselves, they've just basically not been being given good rations, but it's quite obvious that the Drow themselves were eating quite heartily.
Sarah,
I've
you're
been
saying
meaning-
something?
yeah. It was actually just that which Squid said. But then Sir goes on to ask, so this mine shafts, or what it is. How deep does it go?
It's just a single shaft, a few hundred yards. It's not like a gigantic, and he sort of gestures to Jarvan, a gigantic dwarven mining complex. It's just they found a vein of these crystals, and we were following the vein. How far it continues, I don't know, but we haven't got to the end of it yet.
Do all 9 bodies here have cloaks? Or I guess
The drow cloaks.
Yeah.
Question: what would typically be the thing that people bring to show proof of murder?
A patch, probably.
Is there patches? Do they all have a patch?
The drow do.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. So they're just gonna take all the patches off them because we were sent here to kill the things, so we need proof.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe also we could get some of the cloaks to put on the people so that they can be a bit. I don't know if it's cold or warm, but I'm guessing
No,
comfort.
it's very warm and clammy down here.
He said
Okay.
You think that the fire has only been built as a means of cooking?
Okay.
There's no need for warmth down here, because the way I described it last week is the lower down that you're getting into the Underdark, it started very cold and then starting to get warmer and warmer.
Okay.
Alton will take his robe off and he'll offer it.
Worst case, they'll need it when they get out.
Exactly, and he'll look to Mara and he'll say, "The time for subterfuge is over."
Especially now that we have these people to care for.
We were done here. I think this was the camp. They said that there was a small group out here. This group here mentioned that we were going to go to Luskin. The main group is in Luskin. We've dealt with the Neverwinter.
But they also mentioned that there was a stronghold close by, didn't they?
I thought that was Luskin.
Anyway,
No,
I
it
think
was-
What Harlan had told you is there was the main headquarters is in Luskin, but there's a bigger stronghold closer by.
Yeah. So this, and like we were following tracks, and the tracks were continuing, right? And this was just an offshoot of those tracks.
Great.
It was Harlan's poem that drew you in when he was trying to rally the people.
How the hell do we get these people out of the Underdark?
Well, on that thought, well, I was just about to say that. Why don't we have a break and then you can have a ponder for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Well,
We'll send them all to
wait
heaven.
till afterwards.
Yeah.
So we'll go and grab a drink and have a comfort break, and
Yep,
we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Hope you're all still there.
Yes.
all right.
Wonderful.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Joaquin, take the wheel.